the astral light. The word itself, of course, is a perfectly innocent word. It really means, essentially, the effects of the stars, the convergence of star energies upon the atmosphere of the Earth. We have a feeling of what they do when they affect us, by astrology and by weather and by numerous meteorological reports. We are informed, at least in part, of starry influences. But the effect of these influences upon the Earth's subtle atmospheres became the basis of an elaborate structure in magical thinking. First of all, we have to follow the general pattern of antiquity in the discretion of the planet itself. We think of the planet Earth as merely as a son of balls surrounded by some atmosphere and floating in a great sea of space. This is not the way the ancients looked at it. They considered the planet to be based upon the same general pattern as the human being himself. Man has a physical body and he has invisible principles operating through it. To the ancients, the Earth had invisible principles. The Earth is not merely a lump. The Earth is an organized structure, a structure that was capable of supporting life and passing through innumerable vicissitudes and changes of itself. There was not only a visible Earth, but an invisible one. There was not only a physical Earth, but there was a superphysical one. And the invisible structures of the Earth, like the aura of the human body, were energy fields. And these energy fields were involved in the evolution of everything that exists in nature. All the kingdoms of life are nourished by the energies from appropriate levels of the energy fields. A large part of magnetic healing is the result of energies being directed either by human consciousness or by various medicinal substances that carry these energies. Therefore, the whole planet is a vast organism, a tremendous vital dynamic structure, of which we in our daily living see only the outside and the surface. Beneath the surface is not just simply vast strata of rocks and volcanic deposits. The invisible part of the Earth is a tremendous being, or as the ancients put it, the Earth is alive. The Earth is a living thing. It is not simply as a body or an object. Everything that exists in some way or other is alive. There is no death in space, but constant transformation. So the Earth itself was a being, and in the mythology of the ancients they had appropriate deities to symbolize not only the Earth but all of the separate parts of the Earth's structure. The Earth has its own mind, its own emotions, its own vitality. It not only is able to support life, but it is able to direct life. It not only brings us all the different forms of energy and life which we know in daily living, but it is behind this a conscious, rational power. Now, most people today, of course, don't believe this. Science has taken the attitude that man is the mind and the rest of nature is in existence only for man to tamper with. But this is not the way antiquity viewed it. The ancients were convinced that there was a tremendous vital power behind the physical form. Researches on the magnetic field of the human being have justified the realization that man also is both visible and invisible. The invisible part of man is sidereal. It is an energy field, it has its own memory, it has its own records, it has its own morality and ethics. And when a human being with his mind transgresses the ethics of the magnetic field, he gets sick. Because everything in nature is constantly laboring towards an equilibrium, which will keep things as nearly in order as possible. So we look at the Earth now as a kind of world with many levels. The Egyptians did the same thing. In the old tombs there are still old diagrams showing the levels of the planet and of the solar system, and of all the invisible beings that dwell therein. The Tibetans and Buddhists had the seven heavens, and so did the Christians in the apocalypse. All of these mysteries are now counted as merely aberrations. Well, some of them probably are aberrations, but what is an aberration? What is it that causes the individual to create fantasy?